Hey guys, welcome to SparkPoint. Today we are going to be talking about my 5 favorite expressions inside of Adobe After Effects. These expressions are simple, even if you're a beginner, and will totally speed up your workflow. Let's get into it. The first expression I want to talk about is Inertial Bounce. This expression essentially gives you a realistic bouncing effect that can be used in many different ways. I'm using this one all of the time in my actual work. For this example, I've got these bubbles, each with a letter hanging from a string. Right now you can see that they rotate in, and it just looks awful right now. I want these to swing back and forth when they come in to give it a more natural weighted look. Side note, I've put all the expressions we'll be talking about today in the description of this video for you to copy. The inertial bounce expression is a rather lengthy expression, so you'll for sure want to copy and paste this one on. Full disclosure, I did not write this expression. I copied it years ago from somewhere. It's been so long since I pulled it that I don't know who to give the credit to. So whoever created this expression, I thank you so much. I use this all the time. Anyhow, I will copy this whole expression, and back inside of After Effects, I will paste it on one of my rotation properties by pressing Option or Alt on my keyboard and clicking the stopwatch to open my expression field. I'll now paste this expression into the field, and now if I play this back, you'll see that the one with the inertial bounce expression added looks so much better, and it feels like it's actually following the laws of physics here. Now this actually looks pretty good by default, but there are a couple settings I'd like to note in the expression itself. The amount of bounce that your animation will have will depend on the speed at which your animation is happening, your distance between keyframes, and can also be affected by how much easing you have applied to your keyframes. So it's important to know how to modify some of these settings so that you can get it to look just right no matter the scenario. If I click into the expression field, you'll see at the top here I've got amplitude, frequency, and decay. The amplitude will control how big my bounce movements are going to be. A higher number will make the bounce more extreme. A lower number will of course make it more subtle. Frequency controls the speed of the bounce, so if I change this to 4, you can see that the back and forth movement is now much quicker. The decay essentially controls how long the bounce will last until it tapers off. If I set this to 10, you can see that there's very little back and forth movement before it comes to a stop. Now I'm going to leave my numbers as they were in the default, and I'll apply this to my other layers in the comp. Now if I play those all back, you can see how much more natural and dynamic this animation appears. If you were to do this same thing by hand, it probably would take forever and wouldn't quite look the same. The next expression is another favorite of mine, the wiggle expression. The wiggle expression is used to create random movement in an animation. I want to produce some random movement in my text here. To do that, I'll come down to the position of my first letter here and press Option or Alt on my keyboard and click my stopwatch. In the expression field, I'll type wiggle, open parentheses, 3, 10, close parentheses. Now the first number in my parentheses controls the frequency of the wiggle. If I put in a higher number, you can see that the wiggle speed increases. The second number controls my amplitude of my movement, or basically how far I'm willing to let my object travel as it wiggles around. You can see if I put in a higher number, the letter is moving around a lot more. I'll leave mine set at 3 and 10 and copy this expression to the rest of my letters. You can now see that all of my letters are moving around randomly, and this is a great way to get this look very quickly and easily. Moving on, let's talk about the loopOut expression. I often find myself needing to loop animations inside of After Effects, and the loopOut expression makes that so much quicker than copying and pasting keyframes. I've got this simple animation I'd like to be able to loop. I'll open up my position property, Option click, and type in loopOut, and a capital O. That's important. Then I'll do an open parentheses, open quotation, cycle, close quotation, close parentheses. Now if I play this back, my animation is repeating and jumping back to the beginning and playing through again. Now this isn't quite the look that I'm going for, so I can actually change the looping command to pingpong instead of cycle. Now that I've done that, you can see my animation actually reverses and goes back and forth forever and loops that way. I'll copy this expression to my other layer, and I've just saved myself so much time in creating this animation. Next up, we've got our number counter expression. I found this expression especially helpful for data visualization. As an example, I've got this simple data visualization that animates on now, but you can see that my number is still static. I want my number to count from 0 to 78% as this line is animating on around it. To do this, I'll first come over to the Effects and Presets panel and search for Slider Control. I'll apply that to my text layer, and I'll come over here to make sure that my slider property is showing up in the Effects Editor panel. I'll then come over to my text layer and drill down into the layer until I find my source text. I'll Option click the stopwatch, and you'll see that I've got a little pick whip tool here that pops up. I'm going to pick whip or parent this to our slider up in the Effects Editor. With those two linked, the text will reflect whatever number I've put into the slider. I'll keyframe this slider so that it goes from 0 to 78. And now if I play this back, you'll see that it does count up to 78, but we've got some crazy decimals showing up, and now we've also lost our percent sign. To fix the decimals, all we need to do is right at the beginning of our expression is type capital M, Math.round, open parentheses, and close parentheses at the very, very end. We're basically telling this whole expression to round the numbers. To add our percent sign at the very end of the expression, we'll type plus, open quotation, percent sign, close quotation. Now if you play this back, we've got clean, solid numbers, and we've got our percent sign at the end, and it's counting up. Looks awesome. Last but not least, we have our time expression. For this example, I've got a simple clock, and I want to animate the hands of this clock. I could of course just animate the rotation traditionally with keyframes, but I'd rather not have to mess with keyframes if I have to. And I can have this spinning for an infinite amount of time if I want to. To do this, I'll open up my rotation property on the big hand and option click the stopwatch to open my expression field. I'll then type in time times 100. Now 100 is just determining the speed at which it's rotating. You can play around with this till you get a speed that you like. Now if I play this back, this will rotate forever at this speed. And I've just saved myself some time from having to lay down any keyframes. But here's where it really gets cool. I also want to animate my small hand on the clock to be moving as well. I'll open up the rotation property on that layer, option click, and use my pick whip tool to parent the rotation of the small hand to the big hand rotation. Now we all know the small hand moves slower than the big hand, 12 times slower in fact, so we need to tell our small hand to move slower somehow. To do this, you'll simply add /12 or divide 12, which will essentially just divide this whole expression by 12. And now if I play this back, you will see that my little hand is in fact moving slower than my big hand, and my small hand is attached to my big hand. So at any speed that I decide to move my big hand, my small hand will follow that proportionally and always divide it by 12. Pretty cool, right? All right, and that's it. If you found this video helpful, please absolutely demolish that like button, all right, please. And of course, subscribe and hit that bell so that you receive notifications every single time that we upload a great piece of content for you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.